Today, I want to talk about soul deals as seen in Hazbin Hotel, and particularly how they might relate to Hell of a Boss, especially the deadly sin of greed, Mammon. My name is Impcut, hit the subscribe button, forgive me if I sound funny, I have a cold today. If you want to make me feel better, go check out the video we made where we react to your comments. The more people who watch that video, the more money we have to pay Aldo to make new animations for you guys to react to, and I know you guys want to see more of our background characters doing funny stuff. Sorry, what did you say was the name of this fine establishment? The Ain't Anymore Airbnb, the Bygone Bed and Breakfast, the Once Was Inn, the Past Prime Motel, the Fraudulent Freak Flophouse, the Reject Resort, the Could Be Better Cabin, the Former Fame Flat, the Halfway House of Heck. Now, until recently, the nature of souls wasn't very clear, with them just being alluded to before the actual premiere of Hazbin Hotel on Amazon Prime. We still don't know everything about them, but with the new season, we got a lot more information, and it completely recontextualizes what little we know about souls from Hell of a Boss. For those who don't know because they are new to the fandom, Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss are two shows that take place in the same world, both exploring the same hell, but different parts and aspects of it. Hazbin Hotel was the first show thought up by Vivziepop, with Hell of a Boss being a spin-off that started after the pilot of Hazbin Hotel to release directly on YouTube while she shopped Hazbin Hotel around to Amazon Prime, keeping her brand and fandom alive for Hazbin's eventual release. As such, the lore of one show can affect the other, even if a bit indirectly. From the Hazbin Hotel pilot and some of the ancient livestream lore, we knew that the soul deals were something that happened among demons that helped them trade power around, with the more souls you accumulate leading to you having a higher power level. With this full season of Hazbin Hotel, however, we got a more nuanced look at how they work. Soul deals are, as the name suggests, attached to the actual soul of a character in the show. This means that once that sinner dies, that soul and its power disappears. This is why the overlords have a meeting early on in the season to discuss the harms of the annual extermination, as they are the root cause of those souls disappearing. Collectively, these powerful overlords own millions of souls, which is a lot, but not as many as I initially thought. While they could each technically be millionaires in terms of souls, the way that Carmilla words this about the collective makes it sound like they don't generally have more than 1 million souls at most on their own. While a soul naturally gives a demon power in these deals, it also allows them control over that soul within a certain contracted range. Valentino owns the soul of Angel, for instance, and that seems to be part of what fuels his physical power level in Hell. However, as per their contract, Valentino can do just about anything he wants to Angel within their workplace, which isn't just the studio, but can also be out on the streets where Valentino sends Angel. As part of their contract, there is likely a certain amount of hours or even just an amount of money that Angel has to make for Valentino in order to maintain their agreement. So that means that not just Angel, but many other sinners seem to have sold their souls into long-term bondage with an overlord, where everything they do is to support the overlord, to bring in more money for them, or in the case of Husk, to do more favors. Now, in addition to these personal deals that the demons can make, Hell's currency also seems to be fueled entirely by the same soul trade. In Hell of a Boss, we see these bills called souls used for regular commerce such as at Mammon's theme park in Lululand. Mammon is the embodiment of greed and the ruler of the greed ring, and is thus the treasurer of Hell, being in charge of the money-making process, which is believed to be done in Mint City, a place alluded to on some old Hell of a Boss t-shirt. Now, the money has Mammon's face printed on it since he runs the bank, but it also contains the Seal of Lucifer in particular, as well as this other seal here that will look familiar to everyone but has various names associated with it. Many people would call it a generic devil's pentagram, an upside-down 5-pointed star with a demonic goat head in it. This was used by Anton Levy, the founder of the Church of Satan, for his depiction of Satan, borrowing from the earlier works of the 19th century occultist Eliphas Levi. From Levi, Anti got the image of Baphomet, who Levi had drawn based on his interpretation of that deity that was supposedly worshipped by the Knights Templar. Additionally, the Hebrew letters surrounding the star are not Satan or Baphomet's name, but the name of Leviathan. Baphomet we do not know to be a singular entity in the Helliverse, but so far we do see many candle-headed Baphomet demons in the background that appear to come from the Sloth Ring, which is ruled by Belphegor. Leviathan, meanwhile, is the prince of the Envy Ring, with Satan, of course, being the ruler of the Wrath Ring. It's hard to say who this seal is actually about in the show itself, as Baphomet could be revealed to be the in-world equivalent to Belphegor, and then have all of them connected by this money, but so far the only thing we can really say for sure is that at least one other prince like Lucifer has signed off on this bank. This is interesting because Lucifer doesn't seem to have trust or respect for Mammon. The two own competing theme parks. Lucifer's is called Lulu World, and Mammon ripped that off to make Lulu Land. Lucifer tried to take him to court over this, but actually lost in the end. But somehow, the two had come together to create the money system that Mammon is using to destroy his own ring, and perhaps, eventually, the rest of Hell. But how exactly does this money work then? Now, the real currency of Hell is souls, as that is what everyone wants. The same way that money was supposed to be backed by gold or other resources, Hell's currency is backed by the actual power of immortal souls. All of this ultimately reflects the value that humans have within society, as the money is powered by humans willing to work for a small portion of it at the end of the day, and that is reflected in Hell. The entire soul is likely of great power and more than just a simple dollar or bill that we'd see floating around in Hell's currency, and I imagine each soul to be worth a set amount of money. And there's evidence that an average soul might cost, at least in one case, $50,000. Now, because your soul is so important and powerful, you can't be making a soul deal over every single little exchange, and instead, creating a system of money that exchanged the power of souls was the best way to start the economy. By making money that represents a fraction of the value of a soul, you can make smaller trades and purchases, all without ever having to give up your own soul if you don't want to, as well as there not being any sort of contractual negotiations of what you have to do being owned by someone else. In order to accumulate souls for the money to be backed by, Mammon may offer a specific rate for your soul to be added to his bank. While holding souls in his bank, he may make it so that the power of these souls is properly transferred to the people who own them via the money, the same way they get the power of a soul from a traditional handshake deal. In the show, Mimsy revealed that she borrowed $50,000 from the loan sharks, which to my recent understanding is a very precise amount of money for making an animated music video. Anyways, it's not that Mimsy had to have traded her soul for this money, and in fact, this is the same tactic these loan sharks use in the Greed Ring for native Hellborns like imps, who themselves don't have souls but can still take out high-interest loans. Mimsy, likewise, seems to owe the money, and since she isn't paying it back, could be killed like the many imps we see in Greed who aren't paying back their loans. However, Mimsy had something that I don't think we've seen in Hell of a Boss, which is the Seal of Mammon on her back. Well, this could mean just about anything. My theory for the time being is that it represents how her soul in particular is owned by Mammon. This would not be much different than how Valentino owns Angel's soul or Alistair owns Husk's soul. The key difference here, I think, is that in order to protect his economy, Mammon might have clauses in his deals that hoard and maintain the sinners who don't pay back their loans in some sort of prison of his. In doing so, he punishes them while also keeping their power as part of his system, while also perhaps making sure they don't die during the annual extermination, as that would erase them from the pool of money, and lower the value of Mammon's money in a way that hurts him and Hell overall, just like when a sinner dies that an overlord has control over. This seal likely shows that Mimsy's soul belongs to Mammon and that is not available for trade in a traditional way such as Husk has done, because of how connected Mammon is to Hell's currency. She is a sinner who can't even be negotiated for perhaps, but hopefully we'll get more information on this, how soul deals work, Mammon's role in it all, and what Mimsy will be up to in Season 2. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget, I can't pay Aldo if you don't go watch our comment response video. Link in the pinned comment down below and the pop-up right here. This is how our relationship looks to other people. Me. You are safe now, my sweet child. Bible lore and cartoon reviews. You. I owe you my life. As a Christian, I can appreciate this relationship. I was failing religion class until I found your videos. I feel identified, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Deepcut and Wendigoon are probably the two biggest YouTubers when it comes to accidentally making people religious. Bro, I do it on purpose.